Welcome to the PLZ Soccer Show. No, start again. Don't want to start like that.
You're live.
Well, obviously, welcome to the PLZ Soccer Show with myself and Barry Ferguson. Obviously, you can tell that we've been left in charge, so we're just going to go with this. Obviously, Peter isn't here, but he's obviously left us a lot of things to go through, as you can imagine, Peter being the person that he is. So we're going to start off with the Kilmarnock St Johnstone game tonight, Barry. This is a game, obviously, if Kilmarnock have any hopes of getting into the top six, this is a game they need to win.
Yeah, I think Kilmarnock will win the game. They win this game, they go 5 points clear of Motherwell. So I know St Johnstone, they're got ambition still to get into the top six, but I think Kilmarnock will win this game pretty comfortably. They've been in great form since Stevie Clark's took over, so I can only see Kilmarnock winning this game.
Yeah, it's obviously unfortunate that Johnson comes into this game, and obviously the boy McLean, who's a big player for them, doesn't play in the artificial surface. That's obviously a hindrance.
I mean, if I'm being honest, I don't like them. I don't like them. Obviously, Stephen McLean, he was a young boy when I was at Rangers. He had a serious knee injury when he was 16. So he struggles to play in these sort of surfaces. He's a big player for St Johnstone. He's their main threat, main goal threat. So he'll be a massive miss for St Johnstone. So that's why I see Kilmarnock winning this game.
And obviously it's going to get a lot tighter at the bottom. Ross County obviously moved on their manager and they brought in their development manager in charge. Do you think they see something in the Graham Murty appointment of bringing somebody in-house into that kind of position?
Well, first and foremost, I thought Ross County were a bit hasty in getting rid of Jim McIntyre. I thought it was too early. Obviously they brought in Owen Coyle and things have no worked out for him. So Kettlewell's done a real good job with under-20s. So they've only had 4 wins this season, Ross County. So I think it's going to be difficult for them to get out from the bottom of the league. But I hope the guy does well. As I said, he has had real success with under-20s up there, and he's brought through a few players into the first team. Yeah,
obviously there's a few games before the split, and I think it's important that they get in touch when the split comes with some of the teams above them. That's still possible because they've still got to play Partick Thistle and the likes. And once they get into the split, you know, you would think that they think they can take points off the teams above them.
Yep. If they go into the split and they're only 2 or 3 points behind certain teams, then they might fancy their chances. But they've got a few tough games coming up. I don't see them winning a lot of the games before the split happens. But Stuart Kettlewell will be looking to get a win straight away, and he'll look to get a reaction off the players, because the players have been disappointing. I think Ross County have got some decent players up there, and they've not achieved what they should have.
Obviously, as Peter has written down in this piece of paper, one of the biggest games of the season coming up is Rangers versus Celtic. We'll all have a chat about it, we'll all have our opinion how it's going to go. Obviously, I've stated that Rangers with a home advantage, and I think they are an improving side, that I think they'll just nick this one. And we obviously had a discussion. I brought up the point, I think a year ago, if we'd been talking about this game, a big opinion with the supporters were how many Rangers players would get into a Celtic team. And I think if you'd asked that question a year ago, it would have been nil. And it just shows you how much Rangers have moved on in that time with the players have brought in, and I think that's why there is high expectations.
Yep. First and foremost with the game coming up on Sunday, I think Rangers are in a real good place at this moment in time. I think their form over they've won their last 6 games, 4 in the league and 2 in the Scottish Cup. So this is probably the most confident the Rangers players, and myself included, getting into an Old Firm game. In terms of Celtic's performances of late, they've not been as good as they have been. Obviously the previous season they were an absolute fire, but if I'm being honest, I think Rangers will sneak it.
Another debate obviously the fans have, and we've had it as well, you know, that now the game gets closer, big question is how many Rangers players do you think would get into a Celtic team? Now you've got your opinion, I've got mine. Obviously Rangers as I've said, you know, have got these new players coming in. It'd be interesting. How many do you think?
Well, just going back to what you says, a year ago, I wouldn't have probably put any Rangers players in a combined 11 for Sunday. I would put 5 in. I would go with Foringham, Tavernier, Bates and Martin, and Kieran Tierney at left back, Forrest, Brown, Nisham, Murphy, Morelos and Dembele. That would be mine. At the start of the season, I'll be honest with you, I probably wouldn't have put, as I said, any Rangers players, but that's down to the good job that Graham Murty's done, and also the players have took on board what he's shown them on the training ground, and we'll see what Sunday brings. But I think Rangers will sneak it.
Yeah, I have to agree with you as well. I've got 5 Rangers players on my side. Obviously, if Craig Gordon had been fit, that might have been different, but certainly, you know, I would have Fotheringham, Tavernier, Martin, Simonovic, Tierney, Brown and Nisham are big players. Well, I'm like you, Murray, Dembele and Morelos up front. I think 5 players each. Obviously Peter isn't here, he only had 1 Rangers player in the side. You would expect that anyway, but it's going to be a massive game. In your prediction?
I think there's going to be goals, for the simple fact that I think Rangers need to win the game if they've got any chance of putting a challenge up for the league title. In the same hand, I think Celtic will come to Ibrox and go for Rangers. So I think there's going to be goals in it, and I think Rangers will just nick it, and I'll go 3-2 Rangers.
3-2 Rangers. Okay, another massive derby game coming up is Hibs versus Hearts.
What was yours? You've not come up with your prediction?
I've already committed myself to 2-1 Rangers on the day.
All right.
Okay. So we're going to go Hibs Hearts now, and another big game obviously with Craig Levein and Neil Lennon obviously having a wee go at each other. It gives a bit of spark to this game. But on the footballing side, who do you fancy in this one?
I'm looking forward to it for obviously what happened in the last game. There's been a bit of needle between both managers. But for me, Hibs are a team that I enjoy watching. For me, they've got a midfield trio, Bartley, McGeoch and McGinn, who I rate very highly, and add Scott Allen to that. Very good players, very fast out wide as well. But overall, I've been really impressed every time I've seen Hibs. Hearts, on the other hand, are pretty more a direct team. But also, you know, that I've got 2 ex-teammates there, and Kyle Lafferty and Stephen Naismith up front, who they'll pose a threat for the Hibs defence. But I can only see Hibs winning this one, if I'm being honest. Yeah,
I think it's going to be a fantastic atmosphere. Obviously, I think the most important person on the surface will be the 4th official. Basically try and keep Lenny and Craig Levein apart, because you know, like these derby games are the least wee thing, wee spark. You know, that 4th official has to be on top of it right away. We've seen some right ugly scenes at the touchline on some occasions, so let's hope this doesn't happen. Obviously we've got the Champions League on the go, and fortunately for me, Peter isn't here at the moment because my team PSG have just been knocked out of the Champions League. I thought it was a pretty poor performance. I think in the early part of this competition they looked unbeatable, you know, with the front 3 that they've got, and I have to say their midfield as well. But again, Real Madrid have just come up with a wee bit of quality at the right time. Yep, that's my tip. So my tip, I've put your tip PSG out. But listen, I watched the game, and Real Madrid, I mean, they dropped 2 of their, for me, top players in Modric and Toni Kroos, but your man Ronaldo keeps popping up with goals. Phenomenal, scored in every single game in the Champions League this season, and I think they'll go all the way. I know they've struggled domestically, but they know what it's all about in the Champions League. I thought they done a professional job last night, as you says. PSG, I was impressed when they came to Celtic Park, but last night wasn't the PSG that I'd seen earlier on this season. So good result for Real Madrid. Good. Well, let's just hope there's no Peter's team that wins the final. That's the main thing. So apart from me and Barry, we've had a great time here talking to you. Well, again, we'll be back tomorrow night. Well, Peter been here. That's if he lets us on after this one. So thanks very much for watching us and listening. It's been great to talk to you. Thanks very much.